Hi people. So a couple of days ago I made this little scene in here, like some kind of creepy dude jumping around near some kind of concrete structure in the middle of the woods. And I guess I want to tell you a little bit how it was made and what's the whole story about creating artwork for this one. Uh, Generally speaking, it's made with grease pencil, almost completely. So yeah, but the very first thing I did actually to create this one was going to for a walk and taking some pictures. Like I found this concrete structure in the middle of the wood. I mean, not in the middle, but in some kind of wilderness. I suppose it should be some kind of a swimming pool, but obviously it didn't work out well. Lucky for me because it looks great like that. So I was trying like to recreate this photo with grease pencil, and the thing is that I'm not that great with perspective. So usually I need some kind of guidance. That's why I created this system of guides, which looks. If I would turn off the background and the dude, it looks like this. I mean, I know it's barely visible. Let me turn up the opacity a little bit. Yeah, so basically it's just like bunch of grease pencil lines with RI modifiers on it, and uh, when I start to create a scene, I usually need something like this to establish the perspective. So I hover around with the camera and try to find the best looking like camera angle. And having that done, I started to create the grease pencil artwork in a brand new grease pencil object. Uh, Actually, usually I start with the line art, and that's exactly what I did in here. Um, like looking at my photo at one monitor, I started to recreate like this messy, uh, messy line art with just one grease pencil material, which is like this grayish, almost black ink, let's say. And besides that, it has no feel, so it's kind of semi. I mean, it's kind of transparent. Besides those places where the black ink was placed. Uh, the next step was creating some kind of feel. So I wanted to make things really simple. Let's turn off the guides. Um, so I used just two more materials, like this bluish one in here and the green for the rest, right? I really wanted to keep the color scheme really simple, and yeah, that's why there are only three colors right now. So it's only this grayish line art color and the blue and the green. The next thing I did was like I wanted to add some more depth into the artwork, so I created some shadows. Like this time I changed the blending mode of this layer, which is on top of fill but beneath the line art layer. Uh, I changed the blending mode to multiply and turned down the opacity like to some small value, and then just used pitch black color like to add some additional shadows here and there. So what was I doing? Like I was just like trying to figure it out where was the best place like to place the shadows, and I kept on doing this until I was more or less happy. Obviously it's all very messy, but I just like it that way, so I guess it could be cleaned up like pretty much, but well, I like it that way. Deal with it. Like the next thing I did was adding some gradient on top. Like I used to think gradients in Blender are, especially in grease pencil, they suck, and I still do. I mean, like, it's totally unintuitive, and it's a pain to work with gradients, but it's possible. The cool thing is that you can actually modify it, like in edit mode, when you actually will select the gradient object. You can easily transform its position, rotation, and scale as well. So it's kind of cool. Same thing was done at the bottom of the composition with a different gradient, which is kind of more simple because it goes from pitch black to pitch black with alpha set to 0. So it kind of like gives additional shade to everything. As you can all see, like the artwork by now, it's pretty washed out, and the colors are not really saturated, and it looks kind of dull. And I could easily fix that by changing like the settings of my grease pencil materials, right? But what I did in here, I added like one more layer on top of everything, and I used like the hard light for blending mode. I mean, you can easily experiment with that. I choose the hard light mode, and I added like one more material to my set, like, which is like some kind of texture material. And the thing is that I created it by myself as well, by simply putting some brush strokes on, not brush or pencil strokes on a piece of paper, scanning it. I came up with something like, where is it? Like this, yeah. And by using Krita, I made it seamless, so I can actually paint with that. So I painted over like the whole picture with this material, and changed the blending mode to hard light, and turn down the opacity to some really low value, because like the hard light usually creates like just darkness. Okay, so I guess I'll just stop here for a while. I mean, I don't want this video to get very long, and I would really like to show you how I dealt with the character in here. How was it rigged, and how was it like, what's the deal with the blinking colors and everything. And unfortunately I didn't record the process of creation of this character, so I believe the best solution would be like to record another video with similar character, which I would make from scratch and try to animate it a little bit, but that's a whole new story for another video. So see you soon, people, and keep on animating and drawing or whatever you like to do. Bye.